Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Whiskey Tangent Podcast. I'm here with Scott.
Hey everybody.
And Gabe.
Hello again.
And we're here doing a very, very special, first of its kind, quick taste. And Scott's going to tell you what we're going to be doing today.
Yeah, so when we first started this podcast, a couple months after we started, we got our first free bottle from Bullet. They just happened to see our podcast somewhere, and they sent us a free bottle of Bullet Rye. That was the first of many to come, although there was a big gap.
Yeah, we love you guys. Thanks for loving Bullet. And we're like, we love you too. And it was like a big love fest, and we got a free bottle.
Yeah. And then just this summer, we ended up getting a bottle of Sexton, Fistful of Bourbon, Legent, Corsair, 2 bottles from Corsair, and Jeff got us some samples of Barrel.
Right, large barrel samples.
Yeah. And this one is a little different because it was sent in by a listener. Bonus short.
Yes.
Stephen from Tampa Bay.
Yeah, so evidently Steven's been listening to the podcast, and he digs what we're doing here, and that's great. We're so happy. And evidently he has a little bit of a local spirit. He wanted to prop it up.
Yeah, so what we have here is Red Drum Bourbon.
Red Rum. Red Rum.
No, not Red Rum, Red Drum. We are recording this on Halloween.
Yes, that's true. Boo fucking boo.
Boo fucking boo. Do you want to get into the whiskey first, or do you want to talk about the distillery, or what do you want to do?
Let's just smell it first, because it's sitting in front of me, and I can already start to smell it. So
All right,
let's address that.
yeah, let's just go right into the drinking.
So I'm going to say, first off, I was
Smells great.
really, really surprised at how great it smells. It's got tremendous, like, sweet nose.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of sweet, too. I was blown away just by the smell right off the bat.
Cherries?
Yeah, absolute cherries.
Cherries all over it.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Like candied cherries.
I didn't-
yeah, like-
I got orange peel. I got some
Yeah,
candy
some
corn,
orange peel, good.
Some
Nice.
sugary cereal, some cotton candy.
Now you're just making shit up?
No. I'm serious. I'm trying to be scientific here, okay?
No, it's very good.
Can you take this seriously, for Christ's sakes? This is science, goddammit.
Jesus Christ, we're 2 minutes in recording for the day. You can't be angry yet.
I haven't started even drinking yet.
Right. It hasn't even started. We have a lot to do tonight,
So-
Gabe. Pace yourself in the anger
Fuck off.
department.
We were wondering if...
By the way, thanks to Steven for making me angry.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
So I thought it was cool that Steve has a local distillery that he feels that strongly about, that he wants people to hear about it. And,
Yeah.
and to send us a bottle was damn nice of him.
Very
It's
nice.
the best Halloween I've ever had. Like,
Yeah.
trick or treat, bottle of bourbon. Yes.
Yeah, all I got was a rock.
Yes.
Yeah, so I smelled cherries immediately
Yeah,
on this, but
yeah.
I didn't want to say it because everyone thinks I smell cherries and everything. So I waited for Ed to say something, and he did.
This was obvious for me.
Validated.
And like I can see a little bit of like burnt vanilla and stuff like that too. It
Very nice.
actually reminds me a little bit of some of the barrel spirits that they were all finished.
Yeah.
This isn't finished, but it
No.
had some of the candy notes.
A lot of dried fruit in this as well.
Yeah, let's taste
Let's
it.
taste it.
Ooh.
That was spicier than I thought it was going to be.
It's sweet though. It's really nice.
It's got a nice little kick of heat right off the bat.
We're going to
Sweetness.
examine it a bit more, but let's talk about what the whiskey is. What do we know? The mash bill? Do we know?
I wasn't able to find a whole lot about it. They didn't have a lot of information on their website. And of course, since it's a local thing,
Right.
there aren't really any reviews. But what I
Right,
do
we could have
know...
called like Bob at the distillery. It's like a small distillery, like, hey, Bob here. Hey, what's in your red rum bourbon? Oh yeah, let me tell you what that is.
You know what? We should have done that.
We should have called up.
So it is a bourbon, so it has to be, of course, 51% corn.
Right.
They call it a high rye bourbon, so we do know that it's a high rye. So
Oh,
maybe
that's good. Okay.
20, 25%, maybe?
Right. I mean, that's
60,
65,
65, 25, 10.
Something like
in
that, yeah.
range, yeah. It's aged 2 years, they say, in
Really?
medium charred oak barrels, and the proof is 90.
All right, interesting. All right, so let's hear about some of the history on the distillery, and then Gabe's going to do a 20-minute review of Tampa Bay itself, the city and the founding of the Spanish, and all the way up through the...
No, stop.
Oh, no? Okay.
Well, do you want to hear what Stephen had to say about the bourbon?
Oh, yeah, please.
That would be nice.
So-
So kind enough to send you a bottle.
So this is
Wait, he couldn't fly in to be here? Fine, Steve. All right, we'll just read what he wrote then.
these are the only tasting notes that we have of this, besides our own, of course. And it's just 2 sentences. It's a fairly sweet tasting bourbon that really reminds me of Woodford Reserve wheat whiskey. With a little water or a small ice cube, it tastes like marshmallows.
Ooh, okay, I think Gabe hit that with the cotton candy. And I said like the burnt vanilla. I think we're right there with that. I
Yeah.
think we recognized that.
What he didn't say was how spicy it is. Don't you guys think it's spicy?
it is lingering quite a bit.
Spicy and oaky and
Part of that's the high rye.
once you get past the sweetness, I like it. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean-
I'm very surprised this is just 2 years.
2 years is for being so immature, and it does leave a little bit of a burn at the end, but it's very smooth, though. It's very smooth.
Yeah, I mean, the heat is holding on the tongue quite a bit after you swallow. And and it's got a bit of a medium oily mouthfeel.
Yeah, you're right, Gabe, about the heat. Like, it does linger with you, but it's not unpleasant.
No,
like,
it's not overbearing.
I think it's what Adam from Beam Suntory called a bourbon hug.
Oh, Kentucky hug.
Yeah, Kentucky hug, rather, right. Where it just kind of like, you get a nice little warmth across your chest.
Yeah.
It's like sitting outside in the fall and someone has like a nice fire going and someone grabs a handful of dried leaves and they burn them quick, but you get a quick little blast of smoke in your mouth and it just kind of lingers there and holds the heat, and it's like, it's not really good for you, but it's not really unpleasant either.
Wow.
And you can edit this all out
I
later.
was gonna say, I told
Gabe's
you,
a smoker.
right, everyone's like, oh, well, Gabe's on the peyote. Listen, this is more of a Florida hug, though. I have to correct myself.
Yes,
I
it's
am
true.
the Lizard King. I could do anything.
A Florida hug, exactly. So speaking of Florida, the distillery is called Florida Cane Distillery.
Right.
It was founded in 2012 in an 800 square foot warehouse by hockey buddies Lee Nelson and Pat O'Brien, who wanted to combine their passion for community, pursuit of perfection, a love of life, and the right mix of work and play. And the concept was simple: make a premium, handcrafted, microdistilled vodka entirely from Florida ingredients. But making the distillery a reality took more than just a business plan and financial backing. They had to make legislative changes. You see, before 2014, microdistilleries in Florida were not allowed to sell craft spirits directly to the public, nor could they be located in commercial areas. So with the help of state representatives and local lawmakers, they were able to remove the antiquated Prohibition-era laws and usher in a craft spirits renaissance in the state of Florida.
Fucking prohibition.
I know, it just fucking...
How long? It's
It's
100
been
years. It's been
100 years.
100 years.
Yeah.
Fucking the South. Can you please let go of it? God damn.
Seriously.
Corsair, they had the same thing in Tennessee, that they had to get the laws changed because of prohibition shit still being there. It's like sodomy laws are still in the book. Just for everyone relax. Wait, what?
What? Relax for sodomy. Okay.
Way to sneak that one in there.
Hell, sneaking it in. I see what you did.
Wait, what happened? No.
Yeah.
But I just mean, like, I always hear that, like, in Georgia, they're like, and also sodomy is still illegal in Georgia. I'm like, how do you know? How do you get busted for that? Who kicks in the door at that moment? Like, all right, you two. Man and a woman,
say it
like,
like
what's
it's a
going
bad
on?
thing.
Or just, I'm married to her. No. It doesn't matter if you're married. Get in the car.
Illegal's illegal. That's a law.
That's right. And by the way, is that a still in your garage? We got you for two.
So now, 6 years later, they say that they're the only craft distillery in the nation to have developed over 39 spirits under 5 different brands. They have 9 cane vodkas, they call them.
It should be called ADD Distillery.
Yeah, including jalapeno, lemon lime, cherry, orange, pineapple, candy cane, and vanilla bean flavors. They have 3 El Encanto rums, a silver, an amber, pineapple flavored, and then a Tamayami small batch gin, 4 Sunshine Moonshines, and the flavors are really interesting: apple pie and hot pepper, cinnamon and sugar, toffee and orange, and dark berries and anise.
You know, I think that and I'm going to let it go. And I think that
Let the anise go.
yeah, I'm going to let the anise go. I think that the local...
We already made sodomy jokes.
I think the local needs to hook up with these guys because, they only use American-made products.
Yeah.
There's a gin there. There's a bunch of vodkas there.
Sure, we'll talk to Anders about it.
Callum will be here in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right.
We could talk to Callum himself.
They also have 3 whiskeys, one of which we're drinking right now, the bourbon. They have a 2-year-old 90 proof rye, and they have a 3-year-old 83% corn whiskey.
Interesting.
The Florida Cane Distillery has a retail shop, which is much visited tourist attraction located in the historic Tampa neighborhood known as Ybor City, which was founded as an independent town in 1885 by a group of cigar manufacturers and annexed to Tampa in 1887. Reading about it reminded me of like Northern Liberties in Philadelphia. It's kind of artsy and gentrified and all, if it had a Spanish flavor. In the evening, the retail shop transforms into a bar where patrons can learn how to make craft cocktails. And get this, they run the nation's only hands-on whiskey distilling school, allowing students to make their own whiskey from start to finish that they can take home and let age.
I can smell a road trip coming.
Road trip. We're going to come visit you, Steve. I take it back. We're flying to Tampa.
Whiskey, cigars,
Isn't that pretty cool?
hands-on, make
They
your
seem
own.
yeah.
Warm weather, beaches,
Seems amazing.
Fishing.
sodomy.
So, if you're into it,
Yeah, so the red drum is a fish.
yes. I went drum fishing one night for 12 hours.
You did, right.
This was off the coast of Cape May, like 60 miles out or something. But I will let you know, I caught no drumfish.
Did you catch any cymblefish?
Ba-dum-bum.
No, I wasn't able to snare any.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Don't you ever try to out-clever me.
We'll be here all night, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. You're right, though. The red drum fish is located all up and down the East Coast and in the Gulf of Mexico.
Just not under my boat that night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, man, this is going to be great.
And cocktails, right? I'm thinking cocktails.
They have a whole page on their website that has cocktail recipes for all their whiskeys. There must be 24 cocktails on there.
Yeah, I mean, really, Stephen, this is a great find for us. And we always talk about, Scott and I, and I'm sure Gabe feels the same way, that there's...
Oh, don't speak for me.
I wasn't. I just didn't want to exclude you, but now I will. So Scott and I always talk about how...
Not Gabe.
Scott and I, not Gabe. Like, what are we missing? Like, we know we have stuff in New Jersey and Pennsylvania that nobody else has. So now here we have one all the way in Tampa Bay that we would never know about if it wasn't for Stephen sending it.
Right.
So we always wonder, like, how many of these? Is there another, 500 bottles of whiskey out there that I'll never see and never hear about? It could get a little obsessive. You get a little bit like, what am I missing? Like
The fear of missing out, right?
Yeah.
There's so many expressions. It kind of piggybacks on the episode about the small craft distilleries
Right.
that was in Tennessee, but every state has these.
right. It's like when porn first came out on the internet, like you thought you had to look at every picture.
And then it took forever for the picture to come down.
After 9, 15, 22 hours, you're like, all right, it'll still be here tomorrow.
And boy, does that hurt.
9, 15, or 22 hours.
You're like,
Chafing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. So there's a poem on the side of this. Should I read it?
Can you read it? I try, but it's dark in here.
It's not a bad poem. It's
right.
about fishing. If we don't like it, we can.
all right, I think it's a good way. I think it's a good way to end the short.
Yeah.
If you were gifted a nice bottle from a listener, I think it's props just to...
This poem is dedicated to you, Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen, I don't know if you're a boater or a fisher.
A fisherman.
Fisherman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fisher's what you get in your ass from shitting too hard. He certainly isn't that. So he's a boater or a fisherman.
That's a fissure.
Welcome to the Colonoscopy podcast. What's your next question?
Wow.
Fiber.
Well, I got a lot of blood in my stools.
Oh, here comes Pucker.
Hey kids. Don't forget to eat your fiber.
All right.
We've gone off the rails.
Okay, here's the poem. Ready? From early March till the end of October, cries to go out grow louder and louder. Saying, get to the water and throw in a line, the familiar voice tells me it's red rum time. Strong tide's a sign for very good luck. My boat, your boat, or the edge of a dock. Finding large schools in the grassy flats or tucked up under the mangrove slats. 7.5 foot medium action spinning rod sticky from last year's extractions. I tighten my reel with that 20-pound line, pack up my gear, can't wait for morning time. Terra Verde, Shell Point, O'Neill's, or the Gandhi, nothing else matters when it's salty and sandy. Once I'm out on the water, pulling away, close to nature, soaring birds, I'm part of the bay. Cold beer, opening nets, sunscreen, and a mission adds up to a great Tampa Bay day of fishing. I'm out on the water and I cast out the line. One hit, rod bends, and it's red rum time.
All right.
Get some snaps going.
So if Dr. Seuss was like a bourbon drinker, so we would have had on that.
Very well stated.
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I thought it was a good poem.
All right, so overall, I give this a grade of better than I thought it was going to be by far. By far.
A B for better than
I'll be
I
honest,
thought it was going to be.
when I first said, like, someone's sending us a local distilled bourbon from Florida, I'm like, are they really sweet? But I'm like, God, what's this going to be like? And then, you know what? For a small distillery bourbon, one of the best I would say I've had. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, and you're a whiskey drinker, you have a mecca, a pilgrimage to take anyway for whiskey. Go to Florida King Distillery. Heck, make your own whiskey. Make it as part of your vacation plans.
Yeah.
When your wife and daughter are on the beach for the third day, and you're like, I don't want to go to the beach for the third day.
Right.
I'm going to go make my own whiskey and take it home and age it. That sounds like a fucking awesome thing to do on
That's
vacation.
an amazing thing.
So, Steve, thanks so much for sending us the bottle.
Thank you so much, Steve.
It was very good.
Definitely.
And so, for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
I'm Gabe.
Cheers.
Later.